Today we are touring this beautiful Texas ranch right here in the Hill Country, not too far from Austin. And we're gonna get a quick tour of the house here, and then we are gonna take a ride with the owner, Mr. Wes Walters. Thank you for allowing us to tour today. We're gonna take a ride with him around the property. I'm also gonna show you aerial of this beautiful ranch property. You have multiple ponds, you have hill country views. This could be so many different things. It could be a recreational ranch, it could be hunting lease potential, gentleman's ranch, and it could be your main house, weekend house, but it is absolutely beautiful. I want to give you all the details on this property, the square footage of the home, the price, the taxes situation with the taxes, all the things you could do out here, how many acres it is, and discuss some of the exotic animals. So there's a lot to cover, but while we drive around the property, I'm also going to share with you some of the key things you need to know if you're interested in purchasing a Texas ranch property. And then also, I want to share with you a handful of other properties that are on the market, ranch properties that are on the market. One that's super close in, one that has the most land, and one that has one of the most beautiful houses. So stick around for that and take a look at the ceiling right here in the kitchen. You have all those windows coming in. You have that beautiful high ceiling with a really intricate tongue and groove wood ceiling, really beautiful. I should take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Seth Koppel. I've been a realtor in the Central Texas area for 18 years, and I specialize in new construction and acreage properties. Okay, so let me give you the details on this gorgeous property. How much land are we sitting on? How large is the house, etc. So we are sitting on about 437 acres of property. 437 acres of property, and we are really not that far from Austin. So this is beautiful, beautiful property. We have a main house here with 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, a powder room, and you have about 3,500 square feet in the main house. And this home was built in the year 2009. One of the things I'm really excited to share with you in just a moment is right behind this house. So you have a view of a beautiful pond, and you can enjoy that when you're sitting on the very large, expansive covered patio. You're grilling outside, and you get a view of the pond and just beautiful hill country views into the valley as well. So we're gonna get out there in just a moment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this kitchen. You have these beautiful higher end appliances, that massive island. I could just imagine everybody congregating here in this kitchen and just, either being involved in the cooking and preparation or just enjoying company together. And that just seems like what owning a property like this is all about, is coming together with family on a weekend or a holiday. As we're getting into the holidays now, you can really take advantage and enjoy time with family and friends out here on your own Texas ranch. So take a look here. You have the Viking 48-inch range. You've got 6 burners plus that griddle, double ovens, and you have that built-in microwave into the island. Take a look at this vent hood, just massive, beautiful style here in the vent hood that matches the style of the kitchen. If you want to pull up the listing of this property while you watch the video, don't go anywhere, but I will link it in the description of the video. So go to the description. You can see all my contact info as well. Take a look at how interesting these cabinets are, by the way. That is something I have not seen exactly like that before. We've seen the spice racks, but not in this location, and that's pretty different and pretty interesting. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. A little bit different, but like I said, I will link the property link because this property's on the market. So I'll put that link in the description, and so you could go over there and follow along there. The address is 2940 County Road 203 in Burnet. Again, 437 acres. We have this main house, 4 bedroom, 3.5 bathrooms, and 2 of the bedrooms are a little bit separated. So if you have some extended family coming and you want to have some separation, it's really not far, but it's kind of a neat idea where you kind of go outside and then you see the other secondary bedrooms. That's kind of a neat thing. I will show you that in just a moment. Remember, we have 2 barns. You have 3 wells, and guess what? There is an observation deck where you can see so much of the property. It is actually above the 2-car garage. It's like a party patio up there with a fireplace, and that looks like the best place to hang out in the evening, enjoy the stars, enjoy company, family again, and a fire. There you're getting a glimpse of the view out the back, the pond, the valley, the views, and that's where you walk down and down that area on the covered patio. You get to the other secondary bedrooms, but we're gonna get over there in just a moment. Now remember, this home was built in 2009, but I love how they incorporated the old rustic style throughout. You're seeing that here with this stove for a heat source in lieu of a fireplace in this area, and just the way the ceiling was done with that cathedral ceiling, but with all these wood beams and tongue and groove wood rustic feel throughout, including the front doors as well. A beautiful, very nice flooring here. And if you'd like a list of the upgrades throughout this home, if you'd like the plat document, the survey showing the boundaries of the property, reach out to me. Happy to send that over to you. Now, if you watch my videos, you know there are several key things if you're buying a acreage property, several key things I think you should look for, and other key items you should make sure do not exist on a property that you're considering. And one of those would be, to me, a homeowners association. I would be very skeptical of a larger acreage property that had some sort of homeowners association. The whole point of getting out into the country and away from things is to have that freedom of owning your own property and not having anyone else really tell you what you can do on it. Now, sometimes there's a property that may have some association to, say, maintain road access. Like, that is really not a big deal. That's just a mechanism to share expenses for road access between you and maybe a few other homeowners. That's not a big deal. But as far as being part of a homeowner association that has rules for what you could do on your property, if you're looking at a larger acreage property, as far as I'm concerned, my advice would be to steer clear of that. Even if those rules don't bug you, they may very well bug whoever you're going to sell that property to down the line. So that's my advice on that. Additionally, ideally, no restrictions or very, very few restrictions. Because even without an HOA, a homeowners association, there can be lots of restrictions. So you don't really want that if you're looking at 50, 100 plus acres. This one here, over 400 acres. So in this property here, you have no homeowner association, no restrictions to my knowledge. And in addition, huge bonus would be if you have an agricultural tax exemption. I mean, it's almost a requirement on this much land because otherwise the taxes would be so prohibitive to owning a large ranch property like this. And so in this case, you do have the agricultural tax exemption on a lot of the property, and it drastically reduces your tax bill. So we're here in this very nice master bathroom. You have the master suite, master bathroom, nice, beautiful natural materials here. You have that nice natural stone counter, and I'm not sure if the floor is ceramic tile or natural stone, but it's very nice. And here you have a good size closet. And so we're going to get outside in just a moment as we work our way to that covered patio and get a better view of that pond and everything, and over to the other secondary bedrooms. And while we do that, I want to share with you some key things you need to understand if you are considering buying a larger acreage property or a Texas ranch. These are some really important things you need to understand, or definitely work with a realtor who understands them. Water rights, super important. Access to water, whether that's water on the property, water, surface rights to the water, as well as well water. In this property right here, we actually have 3 wells on the property. And given that water is such a commodity here in Central Texas, that is so valuable to have 3 different water wells. And of course, we can get you more information on each of those wells if you are interested. You also need to know generally about zoning ordinances. What what city zoning or county zoning ordinances are there for each property, and make sure you understand what those are. We talked a little bit about deed restrictions. Ideally, there are none or very, very limited deed restrictions going with the property. We certainly need to understand all the utility situation or cost to bring those utilities to the property or extend them throughout the property. Those costs need to be understood as early in the process as possible. Mineral rights can be extremely valuable, in some cases more valuable than the property itself. So we need to understand what's going on with different mineral rights. You want to have an idea of who the neighbors are. If there is already plans or talk of possibly that area being annexed by a neighboring town, or if roads are going to be extended, these plans are often public knowledge, and it needs to be explored, and make sure you understand the risks of each property you're looking at. There's so much more to cover, but let's get outside and take a look at how beautiful it is out here. It's so peaceful out here. I mean, really, you hear some birds, a breeze. You don't hear any city noises, and you don't even really hear any road noise because this home is set very far off the road. So everything you're looking at when we look out beyond that pond and even further west is all on this property. I mean, everything you're seeing out here, as far as I could tell, because we drive around in just a couple minutes, you're going to see how massive this ranch is and how beautiful it is. And what I will also state is the land on this property it varies quite a bit. Towards the front, you have lots of pasture land. It's relatively flat. That is actually where you're going to see the zebras, which I don't know if I mentioned that, or you may have seen it in the beginning of the video. There are beautiful zebras on this property, and we get up close to them. But then as you get to the back of the property, there is additional topography. You have different kinds of trees, ponds, creeks, and so there's so much variety in a property like this, and that is really beautiful. So don't worry, we're going to get out there in just a minute. This is where I mentioned you get to those other secondary bedrooms that have this separate entrance. So if you have multiple families coming together to enjoy this property, or maybe some adult children, they can be over here in this separate entrance with 2 bedrooms and a connecting Jack and Jill bathroom situation, but the same high quality materials throughout. You can see here you have the sink, you have the tub shower combo, and then you have another sink over there with another closet, and both very spacious bedrooms, and each of the bedrooms has a door to the outside. So, if it's evening and you just want to sit out on the porch and have a drink or early morning coffee, listen to the birds, you can absolutely do that without disturbing everyone throughout the house because you have your own door to the outside. So just continuing along, beautiful, beautiful layout here with this, really neat home. It could be a main home. Like I said, it'd be the perfect weekend ranch getaway or gathering place for family over the holidays, and just a place to really get back to nature and enjoy your family. And speaking of nature, let's take a moment to just really take in and enjoy the view here, the peaceful view out the back of this property. Just so many trees in this valley, and of course, this little pond or lake, and it's just gorgeous out here. So I'm going to take you over to the observation deck now so you can see so much of the land, and you can see this really neat area where I imagine the folks gather and spend a lot of their time because it's so beautiful up there. And not only do you have great views, but it has a fireplace, it has plenty of area to just enjoy. And I imagine you get even better breezes up there, and you could maybe on occasion see the zebras from up there as well. So we're gonna head over there right now. And then, as mentioned, I will share with you some additional things you need to know if you are considering purchasing larger acreage property in Texas. I'm going to share with you several key questions that you need to know the answers to, or you need to ask And as promised, I will share with you a few other available ranches available on the market, some of the information about each of those ranches that, caught my eye for a couple of different reasons. And so I'm going to share those with you as we get into it. And here we are on the upper deck patio. We're above the garage, but the way that they did this, take a look at this. I haven't been on top of too many garages that look like this. And so, like I said, you have a beautiful fireplace, area to enjoy each other, and some entertaining area. If one of y'all knows how to play the guitar or something, it's perfect. Just come out here and relax, have some drinks, have some dinner, enjoy the fire, enjoy the views, the birds, whatever it is that is going to bring you out to a property like this. Take a look. This is the little circle drive on the way in to the front of the home, and just a beautiful, beautiful home here. At the end of the video, if you don't mind sharing with me what your favorite features are of this home and property, I would absolutely love to know. Of course, you could always just reach out, give me a call, or text me my cell phone, my direct cell phone. It's 512-750-8495. Again, my name is Seth Koppel. I've been a realtor in Central Texas for 18 years, specializing in all different types of new construction, as well as acreage properties like this. And so whatever questions you may have, could be about a specific issue or a specific property, or maybe about building, whether that's building in a community or building on your own land like this, reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. Again, my contact information is in the description of the video. So we're going to meet Mr. Walters here in a moment. He's going to drive us around the property on this neat 4x4, but let's take a quick peek at the garage before we get out on the property. So let me just recap the main stats of this property here. Again, we're at 2940 County Road 203 in Burnet, Texas. We're really not far from the downtown area of Burnet. We're not far from Bertram, and we're only about 30 minutes from Liberty Hill, which is at this point basically a suburb of Austin. So if you want to be close to things, whether that's shopping, medical facilities, doctors, schools, etc., but also be completely out in the country, this property hits those main things. Again, you're on 437 acres. You saw the main house. It's the 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, about 3,500 square feet, built in 2009. And the list price is $8.744 million. So $8,744,000. Now, I will mention that the owner does note that he will consider owner financing. So that's something very interesting. So if you have interest in that, reach out to me and I could explain how that would work. It is such a pleasure being out here with the actual owner, agent of this property. So thank you again, Mr. West, for touring with us and driving us around. So I will mention that we are on one of the perimeters of the property here on the right. And then you see we went through a gate here. There are multiple sections of this ranch. It's like at least 2 ranches put together. So, again, if you're looking for something this expansive, well over 400 acres, this is such a beautiful property. So as promised, I want to tell you about a few additional ranches as we go through. And the first one is very close in to the Austin area. It's in Liberty Hill, and it is quite a bit smaller, but it has 88 acres. It also has a home, a 4-bedroom house, and it is priced to sell. The listing notes, very motivated sellers, and that property is listed under $2.5 million, very close in to the Austin area, again in Liberty Hill, with 88 acres of property. That address is 553 County Road 286. If you'd like the listing on any of these, just send me a quick text or give me a call, and I'll send you a link with all the different ranches I'm talking about today. The next one I want to share with you is actually the largest, with over 660 acres of property. It is a little farther out, so it's definitely not as close as this one. But if you're looking to get away and you don't mind driving a couple of hours, it is in the town of Lomita, and it is at 2455 County Road, 2699. Again, 666 acres. It has 5 bedrooms. It has 3 full bathrooms and beautiful, beautiful trees on this property. And it is listed at $6.2 million. And keep in mind, the dollar per acre on that is right about $9,300. So $9,300 per acre for 666 acres with a house and gorgeous trees. So that's pretty interesting if you don't mind going farther out. There's another property for sale in that area that is actually a vineyard and winery. It's sitting on 120 acres of Texas Hill Country, but it could be a wedding venue. It is a functioning winery with so many different grape varietals. So if you're looking for that, a winery, a wedding venue, there's that other property that is that's listed right under $3 million. It's at 518 County Road, 1403 in Lomita. So let's take a look at one of the multiple ponds right here. This is actually towards the front of the property. You saw one behind the home, which was absolutely beautiful. But here's another one right there that we saw. And you could see another little barn area up there. And I'm going to take you up here, up this beautiful pasture. We're going to try to get a glimpse of the zebras that are just so majestic and beautiful. So let's see how close we can get before they run away from us. So, again, there's different types of properties all around Texas. Some are closer in to a town like Austin, a city like Austin. And of course, typically, the closer you are into town, the more valuable that land is. And so if you're looking for proximity so that you can get out to your ranch, you're living in the Austin area and you want to get out to that ranch for a weekend and you don't want to drive 2 hours, this one could be perfect because, like I said, we're only about 30 minutes from Liberty Hill, and many of my clients live in Georgetown, Liberty Hill, Leander, in that northwest corridor of Austin, where there's so much job growth and so much population growth, which is wonderful for appreciation of your home, but not necessarily wonderful if you want peace and quiet over the weekends. So it's great to have a property like this. Take a look at these zebras. They're just gorgeous. So it's just wonderful to have a property like this. You can really get away from it all. I mean, oh my goodness, like be able to come out here, enjoy this big sky. The stars out here must be incredible. And take a look at this guy right here. So apparently Mr. Walters explained that these zebras came with the property. They were inherited by him when they purchased the property. And you could just see how wonderful they are, just roaming around, just enjoying this beautiful pasture land. And so we are actually kind of towards the front of the property here. If you keep going, we wind up at the road. But there's so much more to show you. And I don't know how much I can actually keep on this video. But there's a couple of additional ranches I want to mention. I actually highlighted 8 different ranches to share with you, but I think I'm going to run out of time. But I want to share with you some of the additional questions I think you should ask if you're looking for a ranch property. Okay, so here we're up in the air. All of this is on the property. Well, I mean, out on the horizon, not, but everything we're flying over is on this property. Some of the questions I think you should ask. One, I had this question recently. Can you shoot on the property? On this one, you're on this much land. I doubt that's an issue at all. But on some of the medium-sized properties, that is a question that's important to ask. Where is the nearest hospital? Do I need a permit to build on my property? Are there any existing cattle leases or hunting leases on the property? So I actually have a list of like 99 questions pertaining to farm and ranch. So if you'd like that list, reach out to me. I'd be happy to send it to you and open the conversation and help you understand what's involved in owning and purchasing a Texas ranch property. If you'd like to see another acreage property, please click on the left side of your screen. Thanks again for watching. I'm Seth Koppel. Reach out with any questions anytime.